Here we are, we're gonna start working on our Michigan album today. I just wanna do a quick walkthrough of each page and kind of talk about what's going on and give you a good, look through. Now, I'm a little bit partial to this. I love this book. It absolutely is one of my favorite ones ever. I love my hometown, love Michigan. And the more I travel, the more I love Michigan. So let's just talk. Everything I put in here, I wanted to be pretty specific. I mean, come on. You're even getting a Petoskey stone, apple blossoms, ferns, a little bit of moss. When we go on vacation hiking and traveling that way is a lot of things I like to do. The UP is one of my favorite places. So let's give a walk through each page. One of the things I've done new in this book is actually the wood separators, which are super cool. So we're going to talk about how we distress those. We've got our pocket page in here. And, I just stuck some stuff in there, but you could actually put brochures or anything else that you want to do in there, memorabilia, that kind of thing. And then we're going to do a walkthrough of each page. Now, why am I doing a walkthrough of each page? For my impatient scrappers. For those of you that do not want to follow along with me and you just want to look at the picture, here it is. These are the pictures. So on this, we've got our 6x8 photo that you could put here, which, get an 8x10 printed if you can't get a 6x8. But if you don't like to do the big photos, you can cut those in half and do two 4x6s instead. We've got something new too with the bindings on the paper pages. So each one of these has a back and a front of chipboard. I don't know whether or not I needed to do both sides, but I did. So with both sides, I like how it makes this the same height that over here. So that's why I decided to do it. Because at first I was only going to do one side of these. But anyways, so page number 2 or 3, wherever we're at. Make sure with these you're putting a picture in here. They do not need white paper. The white paper is not necessary for that. We have custom cards that I bought off Etsy, which I'm super excited about. This Since Happy, she took all of these pictures in Michigan, and then they're kind of put where it was the location that she took them, which is really cool too. Back side, again, this frame is gonna have a picture in it, no white paper for you guys. Frame for photos, no white paper. I mean, I'm just obsessed with like the little bit of moss and stuff that we put in here. It just goes a long way for really feeling like Michigan. Now, one of the things I did also was there throughout the whole book, like this one says happy spring, we'll have winter, we'll have colors of fall, we'll have summer. If you don't want to do that, where you take pictures of Michigan in spring, fall, and winter, I have plenty of extra words where you can just change this out if you're just using it for a vacation book for Michigan or just pictures of whatever. Our other Michigan wood chipboard. All right. Got our pictures, our little apple blossoms. Now the apple blossoms, we're gonna take those off the stem to glue them down so that we get them exactly where we want them pretty much. Cover's the only one that we leave some of them on the stem. Oh, my heart belongs in Michigan. When I saw this card on Etsy, I was like, I have to have that because that's very true. As much as I travel, I always love to come home. Pretty. I love all the stacked words, the ferns, the moss, the mushrooms. We call my husband Fun Guy because he's a mushroom hunter. Our other piece of wood that says native with the flat or the state. That's a cute one. You're gonna have plenty of extra pieces too. You can add different stuff with 49 in Market. Everybody knows that it's just endless how many pieces that you get into your package. So if you want to change some things up, you definitely can. I've made the book pretty tight. It's not like you're going to get to add more pages or anything like that, but you definitely can change up the embellishments. Don't go too crazy pop dotting things, otherwise it gets way too big. Again, the word winter can be replaced with something else. And one of my favorite ones, that's why I saved it for the last, is From Michigan with Love. And then some of the funniest things, like, how we point to our hand to show where we're from. The Verner's only from Michigan, and the Superman ice cream, and the pasties. I normally say pasties, which, that's not right. All right, fun. That is it, guys. That is a whole look through the whole album. and what you'll be doing putting it together. So for those of you that like to just go ahead and look at the pictures, there you go. There's your pictures. Have fun with that. And for the rest of you, we are going to grab our bag and we are going to open it up and start looking at what's inside. All right, so we've got our bag right here. Lots of stuff inside here, so I'm just going to pull everything out and talk about the different things. We've got our album, we've got our Natural Study Ephemeras and our Natural Study Chipboard word set, which those are going to need to be inked. You've got your little sprig of the apple blossoms, plenty of moss to go in the book, our ferns, 2 different kinds of ferns that we're going to have for this. Your Petoskey stone. Now, I don't want to hear anything about your Petoskey stone not being the same size as my Petoskey stone or the same shape, all right? We had to buy 150 of these, and they're all going to be different. Nobody's going to get the same exact one. Our brown gems, a sanding block. Inside here is a sanding block for our wood pieces, our jute that we're going to be using and cutting apart. You've got your 3 cards inside. And then inside here, we've got the rest of our pieces, our chipboard pieces, which are wood, and our binding sides, this is where we're going to start. And the last thing you should see is your piece of wood paper. So we're going to set everything aside. We don't need to have anything out except for our wood pieces and our chipboard and these pieces right here. These we're just going to ink. So you go ahead and do that, ink them up, get them ready to go inside the album. But these ones are what we're going to work on first. Make sure they get covered. So right now we need to pull out our sanding block and our Vintage Photo 8 ink spray. It needs to be the spray for what we're doing. You're going to want to have a paper towel or a napkin or a piece of fabric where you can kind of stain the boards with the spray. So go ahead and grab that and then come on back. So we're going to start with our chipboard piece, and we're just going to spray this. Because it's such a large piece, it's just easier to spray it. And I know some people are really heavy-handed with the spray, so don't go crazy, okay? You just need to lightly coat everything. If it has a little bit of speckle in it, that's okay. So that is really good. If you have a spot that's too wet, you can just kind of use your dauber to pick that up. But for me, this is perfect. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to grab out a couple more pieces of scrap paper. Oh, I don't think I said that. So I laid a bunch of scrap paper out for mine to start to do these. You should do that too. Get some napkins or paper towel ready. And then your next is going to be your wood pieces. So on this one here, it's going to be on the front cover, so we don't need to do both sides. So you're just going to spray it, let it get a nice coat, and then just kind of dab it off. And then that is it. You can have it as dark as you want. The longer you let the stain sit on there, the darker it'll be. But I'm not really looking for it to be very dark or anything like that. I just want that nice, rich color. So I'm going to go on with my next one, do exactly the same thing, gently spray till I got it covered, sponge it off, and then I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper, because this side's pretty much done, and I'm going to do the back side. I'm going to look at the front, make sure, you can see where I got a couple spots. So I'm just sponging that off so it doesn't leave a big mark. And then you're going to set these aside to dry. Scrap piece of paper, grab your next board, spray her up. Who knew you could use Vintage Photo ink to spray wood? I did. Oh my goodness, you know what? I forgot to do the sanding. That's so great. Okay, here I am trying to teach you. So this little sanding block is to actually sand these off and make them smooth. How did I forget to do that? So not a big deal. I can still do it. And you're gonna be really gentle, you know, just so it's nice and smooth. And this one feels great. Always do the edges. This one looks good. Now I could go back and I could recover that if you want it darker. I don't really want it darker. I just want you guys to see every piece of wood is going to have a different type of consistency, a different type of grain. All right, let's do a little bit of sanding on this side. Real light, real gentle. Just getting it a little bit smooth. Wipe that off. You know, my laser, when it cuts it, sometimes it leaves a little bit of a funky edge, so that's why I put the sanding block in there. So it's not necessary, it was just a precaution for you guys. If it needed to be done, you had it. And sometimes when you get wood wet, it raises. So if it gets really bumpy and raised, when it's dry, I'll just take this little sanding block and I'll give it a nice sand and it'll flatten right out. And then you might have little burn marks like this. That's something you can sand off too, but you don't really need to because you're not gonna see it. Now when you're sanding, make sure you're going with the grain. Don't go a different way. If you do, you're gonna see that. Do your edges. Let's do the other side. Wipe off all the sand. And let's give it a spray. I always love when I'm doing the albums and I make something unique. So when I decided to do these wood dividers, when I had this idea, I was like, oh my God, I was so excited. I couldn't even believe myself. Okay. And I believe I have a cooking one coming up too. So that's pretty exciting, a cookbook one. Okay, that's it, guys. Just lovely. Make sure you get the other little side off and love it. I'm gonna set them aside to dry, clean all of this up. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to ink my paper pieces and my word chipboard. So I want you to do the same exact thing. All right, so hopefully you have your book opened and you've pulled out your plastic page protectors and your pocket page. And what we're gonna be working on is the white pages. So I used one of the pages, this one here, for the front cover. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna set it aside. And actually 2 of these are in your album and I didn't use the other one. So we can take both of those and pull them out and just set them aside. And then we're gonna pull out the chipboard binding pieces that are in there. And we didn't ink these, we don't wanna ink those. And we're gonna start lining them up with the holes and gluing them down. All right, so I pulled out my pink adhesive. That's all I'm gonna use to glue these down, one at a time. And a lot of times, wherever you see those burn marks, that's actually the back side. So just kind of look for those. It shouldn't matter with this, and apply your adhesive pretty liberally. And then you're just gonna line it up, turn it over, and do exactly the same thing. Make sure you're getting real close to all the edges. And that is good. Now, if you're a little off here and there, do not worry about it because we're gonna have to repunch these holes when we do the next part. So I want you to do that to each one of these pages. just lining it up at the top and the edge here. Okay, I'm gonna keep going until we got them all. Once we have all of these glued down, we're gonna use our wood paper and we're gonna start cutting that. And then our We Are hole punch, you definitely wanna get that out. Okay. All right, cool. That's the last one. Now we're going to take our wood paper and we're going to start cutting it to size to cover up these bindings. Now I'm going to start cutting the wood paper to cover up that chipboard binding. So this needs to be cut 8 3/8 by 3/4, and I need 12 of them. So pull out your trimmer. And we're gonna take it to 8 3/8. So there's 8, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So it's the one longest line before the half. And now we're going to cut 3/4, 12 of them. So, oh, make sure you're pressing hard enough. Look at me. I'm gonna split this around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Once you have 12 of those, we're going to need to get them all inked, but I'm going to walk you through doing one set, and then we can kind of do them on our own. So go ahead, grab your ink out, and let's ink 2 of these right now together. Okay, 1. 2. All right, pull out one of your pages right now. And we're gonna glue that right on top of this. So I'm just gonna put the adhesive right on top of the chipboard so I know it's 100% covered. I'm gonna start at the top and the edge, and I'm just gonna line them up and then press it down. Now it's important right now that you cut the holes. So grab out your We Are trimmer not trimmer. All right, your We Are hole puncher. You're gonna flip it over and you're gonna look inside there and you're gonna cut the holes. Line it up and cut. Now we're gonna glue this side on. Oop, I wanna put it on the chipboard though. I'm doing that because I really want it to be from edge to edge. Okay, perfect. Pressed hard. And now we can turn it over and we see the holes. You know, some people are gonna go glue these all on and they're gonna make that mistake because they're not gonna be able to see the holes. You need to do one at a time. Glue one on, punch holes, glue the next one on, punch the holes. All right, and that's it. So let's get that taken care of. Go ahead and grab these, ink them all, and then get them all on your pages so they look exactly like this, both sides. So the next thing that we need to do is our mats. So for the matting, you're gonna need 33 4x6s. You're gonna need 21 3x4s, and you're gonna need 3 6x8s. I used white paper. You could use craft paper, but I thought the white paper kind of brightened everything up and made it look the best, so that's what I'd recommend. Once you cut out those, go ahead and ink them, and then we're gonna start putting them into the, I'm not sure what that beep was. We're gonna start putting them into the page protectors, okay? So that's where we're at right now. So we're gonna pull out our plastic page protectors, and we're going to start kind of getting all of our stuff set up and ready to start inserting it into the book. So go ahead, do your mats, get them ready, and then we'll step back in and start doing the rest. I want you to grab your album and I want you to open that up, make sure the spines are open, and we're gonna start layering all of our pieces in there as we put in our white mats. So the first piece that we're gonna put in is going to be our Great Lakes Great Times that is done in the wood. Now, if you feel this and it feels rough, just remember you've got your sanding block. You can take that and sand it down so it feels really nice and smooth. I've already done that. Anytime you get wood wet, it rises, so you may want to sand it down to get it smooth. You're not pressing very hard, you're just doing a quick sand, and you make sure you're going with the grain, okay? So that's our first piece that's going into our album. Let me clean that up a little bit. And then the next one is going to be a 6x8 page. And we're going to do a big picture, and then on the back, we're going to do 2 4x6s. So grab your adhesive, grab 2 4x6 mats, and line them up on the 6x8. All right, time for new adhesive. There we go. Let's grab that page protector out. Slide it inside, and then that can go right into the album. Our next one is going to be our lined stripe, or our lined page. So that can go into the album as is. I'm just gonna get everything in order and kind of take care of some of these pieces, because sometimes that's the hardest part, is there's so many pieces happening. So now the next thing that we need is a 3x4 at the tops and a 4x6 at the bottom. So we're gonna take 2 of our photo mats, put them back to back, and slide them in the top. And then you should have your extra wood paper left over. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna make, we're gonna do 3 inches. We're gonna make 3x4. And we need 3 of them. So I'll go ahead and do 3 of them. And then we're going to ink those. So let's hurry and get those inked so that's out of the way. And we can just start layering them in our book. Do them all. Perfect. So our first one is going to go on this left-hand side here. And then we're going to have 2 back-to-back on the right, and then we'll slide another one in. So put 2 back-to-back, flip this over, slide another one in there. And then this can go into the book. We have our cards out, and you can see my card is dirty. I actually had it really close to the wood when I was spraying it, and it kind of got stuff on it. So now I'm just gonna like do a little design just to make it look like it was intentional. Anytime something messes up like that, I don't fret, I don't worry about it. I just make it look like it's meant to be, okay? Oh no, and now I got it on my other pages. Oh Lord, today, do not do what I do. I'm actually, I'm in a hotel in Tennessee visiting my husband, and I'm trying to make this work, and it's been a little trying, let me just say. But anyways, all right, so for these cards, we're gonna take, this is gonna be our next piece that goes into the album. So just go ahead and take a page protector, center it up on there like that, so that you've got, you know, about an inch or probably 3/4 of an inch on each side, and the little holes. And I'm gonna grab my hole punch, unlock it. And I'm just gonna find those holes and punch them. Make sure you clean that out because you can't see if you don't. There we go. Nice. And then this is what goes in next. And we might as well put the pictures in on this one because I didn't decorate the insides of these. I tried not to make anything any thicker. So let's grab 2 4x6 photos, and we're gonna put one on the right and one on the left. Make sure they're straight. Perfect. And once you have that, we can go ahead and slide that into the album. There we go. And then we need another page protector. That's the 2 4x6s, and we're just gonna put these back to back. I don't like to really embellish too much in with the page protectors because I just think they're just nice for the photos. So I'd rather do it on open stuff. So back to back in there, and then this can be slid in. And then our next one is going to be the the white page with the little graph marks on it. So that's what we want to put on. This was a mistake. Don't do that, okay? So that goes into the album. And then we're going to have another page protector, which is a 4x4. So, or not, I'm sorry, it's 3 3x4s. And then on the bottom right-hand side, this is a wood piece. So I might as well, the back of it's gonna be a photo. So I might as well slide that in at the same time. And then this whole setup, it's gonna be back to back. So 2 pictures in each one, 2 photo mats in each one. Go. And once you have them on both sides, just like that, we can go ahead and slide it in the book. We have our next wood piece, which is the Michigan with the M and then Michigan on MI anyways, and on the side. If you need to sand this because it's a little rough, go ahead and take the time to do that right now. But that's what goes in the book next. And then we're gonna pull out one of the 6x8 pages and one of the 6x8 mats for a big photo, 2 4x6 photos, and we're gonna line the back side with 2 of them. Just stack them right on top of each other. go, just like that. Let's slide this in, and then that can go into the album. Our next page that goes in is going to be the lined one. So it goes actually like this, where it's got the longer lines at the top. So it should be like that, or the space, I should say, the space at the top. And we're going to slide that right into the album. And then we're going to grab a 4x6 page protector. And we're going to put these back to back in each slot, so 2 4x6 mats. And then that goes in. And then we have My Heart Belongs to Michigan, which I actually like this splattered look on here. It's a little bit unique. Sometimes mistakes are the best thing. So now I'm going to line up and get the holes in there, just like I did before. Okay. And then our inside is going to have a picture on the left, so let's go ahead and put that in. There we go. That is good. Slide that in. And now we've got another 4x6 set. We're going to do those back to back. And that can go into the book. Our next page is going to be the one with the little dots. So pull that out and slide it into your album. And then we have another of our 4x6, or 3x4s anyway. So put one on the back, slide it into the bottom left. Back to back. Perfect. Then we can put that in the book. We have our native wood piece. If it's not really smooth, go ahead and sand it. Mine is. I've already done that. And we can slide that into our album. And then we have another, the graph piece, which goes in. And then our page protector, which you're going to put 2 in here. Two in here. And then 2 in the bottom. Okay. And then once you have that, we can put it in the book. Grab our next paper piece, which is the dotted. We can slide that in there. And then last but not least, our little, well, it's not the last one, but close. Last page protector anyways is the 6x8. And we're going to put 2 pictures on the back. And since these are on page protectors, you know, I'm not too worried about putting too much adhesive, just enough to hold it in there. Just like that. And then this one on the back, I had adhesive on my finger. Need some undo. I'll clean that off later. This piece can go into the back, and now I have all my pages inside the album, and I'm going to take this Michigan card and I'm going to glue that in also. I like to really get all of my pieces as much as I can into the album so that it's not a gazillion things, and to get them all in order too if I can. So lots of adhesive on this, don't be cheap. And we are going about 5 spots from the edge, about right there. Looks good to me. Inside, we're gonna put 2 photo mats. I can close this right now too. I'll put one here. I'll put one on the inside. Press it down, that's good. And then I want to flip all of these back to the beginning. All right, good deal. So I've got them all flipped back to the beginning, and I want to focus on this side right here. This side gets a, what did I do with mine? Well, might have to hit pause and figure out where that is. We're gonna put that pocket page right in here, but I have set mine somewhere, so I'll be back in a few. Oh no, I found it. Haha. I found it. So we're gonna take and glue this pocket page in. Lots of adhesive on this because it's a pocket page. Use your strongest adhesive. If you had your 3L tape, I would probably recommend that because it is the strongest adhesive, but I do not. I forgot it. Forgot to bring it, darn it. So I'm just gonna add a lot all along the edges. There we go. And then this is gonna be about 4 from the side here and about 2 up. So 4 and 2. Press that down really good. Now inside this, we have some photos too. So we're gonna take 2 of these and we're gonna glue them back to back. And we're gonna do that 2 times. Okay, once you've got those 2, we can slide them right in the pocket. And all you should have left is 2 of the 2 of these, which I feel like that's probably not enough. Maybe my count isn't right, because I think I need 1 more 3x4 or 2. We'll see. We'll see as we keep going, because you know there is a lot going on with this album, so maybe we do need to cut a few more. But now a lot of your pieces are inside, which is great. So more manageable to lay out some of your other things now on your table. Okay, so now that you've got that all kind of put together, and the next thing is going to be to start assembling all the embellishments. So I want you to take a minute and kind of get everything lined up in front of you so it's easy access. We're going to need scissors, we're going to need glue dots, pop dots, and lots of adhesive, okay? All right, so I tried to get all my pieces out here as neat as I could and make it easier for us to kind of assemble and put this together. So we're going to start with our pocket page here, and that's going to have a little inserts, you know, just some of the extra pieces that I didn't use, I decided to put inside. So this is one of them here. There is this tag, and then we have this little brown return piece. So these three right here kind of slide right inside with this. I put one kind of behind and then these two, but it's gonna move. So, you know, don't get all fussy with that. We're gonna find the word seek. So I've got that pulled out, which is right here, the word seek, and we're gonna pop dot that. So get out your foam dots. These do not have adhesive on the back of them. I know a lot of people try to peel that backing off. It's not adhesive. So take that off. The word seek is gonna go right up here. Press it down, make sure it's straight, no crooked stuff. And I hate to say it, but my package of embellishments, I think I've lost some stuff. All right, so we're gonna take this green piece and we're gonna glue that down, straight up and down right here, about a half inch from the edge, just like that. We have our blue little tag that we're gonna pull out. And then that's gonna get put flat right on there like this. And the word details. So we've got our details that we're gonna put on. Now this is gonna get pop dotted. So in order to do that, I'm going to cut some of my pop dots to smaller sizes. And then we can turn this over and start placing them where they need to be. Okay, that looks like enough to me. I'm gonna glue this down. And then I'm gonna go back and show you how I tucked some of the other pieces in that I don't have with me. Again, I am in Tennessee doing this. I can't run to the store and actually get, you know, what I'm missing. But I wanna get this video out to you and it'd still be just as good. We just don't have to watch me glue everything down. All right, so get the word details on. Just like that, it's nice and straight. I hate seeing words crooked or cockeyed. And then let me show you a couple things. So this is gonna have one of these fern pieces. So all I did with this is pull off every single little fern and then cut some if I need to. Just like that. And then let's leave the top of it for now. I don't think we need all these other small pieces. So make sure you don't cut off too much. Let's leave it right there. Cut the wire if you can. I don't have my wire cutters with me either. So I'll have to worry about that. Maybe I can get my husband to give me a tool. Ugh. Oh, there we go. Just pulled it out. That's good. So now that I have those pieces, set those aside. And I'm pretty sure I used one of the tips. And that's gonna get tucked right in there, okay? And then I've got a little moss that I do too, so you've got your moss there. So I just wanna show you how I glue this down. Now I do not want you to do this because I want you to see the right one. Right here. First thing you should do is put these ferns on, tuck them under the details, cut them if you need to so that they look like they're coming out of that D and out of the E, all right? And then once you have that, you're gonna glue down your little plastic fern piece. With this, all I do is I use glue dots. I put glue dots on the tip of it here, I tuck them in there, and that works perfect. With this part, with the moss, and I'll just glue a little bit more right in here because, you know, you can never have too much moss, let me tell you. I just put a dollop of glue from the Arnuvo, and I just tuck it in there just like that. Just push, push, push. And I'm obsessed with this moss. I could put it on everything right now. All right, so that's how your first page is going to look, okay? Get your 2 ferns out, put those on. Go ahead and glue this guy down with a little glue dot towards the end. You can glue the whole thing down, but I like how it's kind of, you know, floppy and free. So totally up to you on that one. Right now, this is where I need to stop because I don't have my ferns to put on there, okay? Once you have that, we can turn the page. And then you've got your paper one or your photo one right here. So we're not going to put anything on that. We're going to leave it alone. And we're going to turn to our first page with the wood binding on it. There is a really big piece that has the little bugs and things on it that we're going to put on here. And then we also need the bluish colored one. So this is going to go on first. Let's put some adhesive on that. And we're going to put that down. And then we're going to put this. Let's get a new adhesive. I think most of this I'm just going to walk you through because I'm missing so many pieces, it seems like. I don't know what I did. All right, and then we're gonna glue this down just like that. You have these little tabs and we're gonna put those on each one of the pages. So grab out a little tab. Now with the little tab, I want you to put adhesive on both sides. So cover the whole thing with adhesive. And you're gonna take it and you're gonna line it up so that the first tabs are underneath there, and then fold it, and that is it. That one I did a little, there we go, pulling it out just a little so it's straight. All right, nice. So each one of the pages are gonna get a tab like that. So I've got the word curious. We're gonna grab that, and that's gonna be glued down right underneath here. And then we have 2 paper words. So the paper words should be the word memories and collection. So here's the word memories. And now I just need the word collection, or collecting actually. These are gonna get flat too. So we've got one going on, and then we have the other. Just like that. There's a green butterfly, just this little guy. You know, I always like to give him a little elevation. So I'm gonna put a pop dot on this left-hand wing. And then I'm gonna take the Nuvo and just put it right in the middle. Take the pop dot off. And then this goes right here. I'm gonna hold it down for just a second. I'm gonna pull out the page so that you guys can see. And then I want you to find the word photograph too. It's a chipboard word. It's yellow. Looks just like that. That's gonna go on right up here. And then you're gonna get to see a couple pieces that I don't have. That's a little crooked, isn't it? I guess not, it's just my angle that I'm at. So one of the things that I am missing is this little eyeglass. You're gonna have the eyeglass, but I do not. So we're gonna grab our jute and we're gonna pull off a few pieces of it. This is how I did this. I just kind of pulled off a few pieces of the jute, just like that. And if they don't come off, you can cut them. Perfect. We don't need these lined up perfectly. And I'm gonna make a little bow on the one end. I probably have too many pieces. I only need about 3. So I'm gonna make a little loop. And I'm gonna pull the one side through. And that's it. That is how I did all these little tiny loops, and then you just gotta tighten it up so it doesn't come undone. And then that goes pretty much just like that, and you're gonna cut it to length, okay? Depending on where you have yours. Mine I do not have, so I'm just going to, you know, leave mine blank. But you guys should have this spyglass, and it's gonna be pop dotted, and then you're highlighting the butterfly and the dragonfly. And then you can see where I've got the moss that I tucked in too. So just make a little dollop of adhesive and stick in a little bit of moss, not a ton. Try to, you know, less is best. You can always add more to it, okay? And then we're gonna turn it over and we're gonna start working on the next side, which I'm gonna leave mine here. So let's grab that 4x6 photo mat. I'm gonna put, before I glue that down, I wanna get the green tag out. So that's my first piece, is that green tag. So I'll put that down close to the top, about an inch from the side, right there. Then my photo mat. Perfect. Nature lover is one of the words inside there that we want. I'm gonna put that right at the top. And we've got our good life right there. So let's go ahead and put that on here. There should be a brown heart. And we got the brown heart that I'm gonna put. There's a yellow and a green, so I'm gonna grab both of those. Not on the photo. I don't really love doing that. Yellow, green, and then we have the word favorite that we need to grab and put at the bottom. And once I have that on, we are good. We can put that inside the book if you pulled it out. All right, now on this side over here, we're gonna grab that little green frame like this. And we're gonna glue it right on top. Now this needs a photo, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm only gonna put adhesive right here. So when I go to put pictures in this book, I can do it quite simply by lifting this up and kind of pulling it off. So just a holder, just a placeholder for this. Don't glue it down too hard unless you're putting the pictures in it already. If you're putting the pictures in it, good for you. That is amazing. Okay. Our little Michigan, this one's gonna be blank inside, and the back is gonna have a green frame, and it is gonna have a picture in it. So that's gonna go just like this. So I'm just gonna glue down, I'm gonna tack down the bottom in a couple spots just as a placeholder. Okay, I've got one of the circles. I don't want to see this. I mean, you know, I know that they created it, but I don't want to see it. So I'm just gonna tuck this underneath a little bit, cover up part of it, and then I'm gonna cover up the rest with some of the other embellishments. I've got the word home, so we have our chipboard out over here, okay? So I need to get the word home out of here. Wherever, oh, there it is right there. So here it is. These ones come out pretty simply, but do not mangle your chipboard. Cut away at the negative space. Now that you've got the word home, we're gonna glue this on here. After we get the treasured this, oh my goodness, I started coughing and now I don't think I'm gonna be able to stop. So grab the treasured this, and we're gonna put that on first. just like this. Now the word home. I've got a scrap piece of paper because with small things like this, oh, now I'm moving the camera. We want to make sure that we use a good adhesive that's small and can cover up a lot of the surface. Just like that. Don't cover up any of the words that say treasured this. We don't want to do that. So make sure it's high enough that you don't do that. There we go. Probably should have moved this over a little bit. All right, so now mine actually has one of these mushrooms on it, and I can't put that, and it will cover up this SC right here. I can't put it on because I don't have it. So that would be your guys' next step, is to do this mushroom and put it right here with the top of it pop dotted. And once you have that, we can turn the page, and we're gonna be working with this spot right here. So we're gonna need a yellow frame. We're going to need one of our fern kind of things. So let's get that fern piece on first. And it's kind of at an angle, just like this. The yellow needs to have a picture inside of it. So just glue a little bit on the bottom so that you can lift it up and do that. Okay, just like that. And then we have the word listen to nature that we need to find. And that's going to be pop dotted. So right here, listen to nature. All right, take off the other side of these. Oh my God, ladies, I'm so sorry. I might start coughing. I cannot even help it. I have been so sick. All right, put your listen to nature down there. And then we're gonna grab a little bit piece of our jute, and we're gonna cut a little tiny piece. You know, nothing, it doesn't need to be perfect. I'd prefer that it wasn't actually. So cut yourself a little chunk off, about like that. You're gonna pull off some of your pieces just so it's, you know, and then cut them a little bit more random. And this is gonna get tucked underneath here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of the liquid adhesive right there. And I'm gonna use my scissors. And I'm just going to push it in underneath there. Just like that. And if I want to give this a little haircut, I can, but I like it. I like how random it looks. I am good with that. Gonna grab the chipboard that says Scenic Drive that I cut for you guys. So that is right here. And we're gonna glue that down flat. And I'm gonna use, can't use my other one. It's just too delicate, too small. So I'm using my Nuvo glue to cover as much of the surface as I can. And that goes right here. Now from there, you've got two mushrooms that come up the sides. I do not have these two mushrooms. All the cool pieces I seem to be missing. I'm not sure how that's happened. So two mushrooms coming up the side for this. And then you've got a nice dollop of the moss. So put these on, pop dot the tops, and when you do that, put a puddle here and then push this all in. And then that should be good. We can turn it over to the other side. So that's what we're gonna do here. And on the other side, I have, oh my goodness sakes, I cannot believe this, what I am missing. Oh, and I'm moving the camera. Not a good day for me, I swear. So here is this. You should have a little piece that you can glue at the top here that has this little course D changes, whatever it says, and then the butterfly on top, which I've got some of the pieces, but I don't have that. So make sure you put this piece on first, then go ahead and glue down your tags, which you should have 2, and I don't even have both of those. So you should have 2 tags with butterflies on them right here, okay? And you're gonna glue those down. Once you have those glued down, we're gonna go ahead and glue down our picture mat. And then from there, we wanna put on our Happy Spring. And after you put on your Happy Spring, you're gonna want to glue down this flower and then this little guy right here. Now, I used a puddle of the Nuvo glue and then I just stuck it in here. So with the flowers, let's talk about those for a second. Depending, you know, everybody's gonna have a different section of flowers. And you can pull one little clump off like this, and that's what we're gonna start with. Pull it off from the top probably. That's what we're gonna start with. And you're gonna cut them really flush with the flower. So just like that. All right. And these might fall out, and that's okay, because you're gonna put a big dollop of glue right here and then you just push it in it. And you hold it there for a second, make sure it kind of sets up. But since I'm missing so many pieces, I can't do it. Once you have the flower glued on, you can, at the same time, you can do like just a little sprig. So you've got these little tiny pieces that you pull off and you put them in there as it's gluing to, drying anyways. Or you can use a glue dot, which is how I started with a lot of these, was with a glue dot just at the end and tucked it in. And then after that, go ahead and grab your chipboard piece that is the flourish and put that on with it also. But for me, I can't do any of that, so I'm just gonna stop right there and kind of, you know, leave my pieces and come back to it when I get home and I can finish it all together. So now we have our right-hand side here that we need to finish, and we should have our little yellow frame. Go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive down at the bottom. And then we can put that on our wood piece just as a place marker and put a really cute photo inside there. And then from there, we're gonna turn the page. We've got our Michigan, we can turn that. We've got that 6x8 page. We can also turn that, because I kept all of the embellishing on the paper pages pretty much and the cards. So here we've got the really cool mushroom thing that we're going to use. And then we've got this little brown that's going to stick out. So we're going to start with the brown back layer, put adhesive on that. There we go. Now let's glue this down. Love it. We've got one of our words that says keep going. So this right here is going to go at the top. We've got seek and find, and that's going to get pop dotted. So our seek and find. Okay. There is these just beautiful like wood slices. Look for the beauty in everything. We're going to pop dot that. That's going to be our next piece that we put on. And that's going to go in the corner over here. Oh, did I not put one on there? We got to back up for a second too after I do this. All right, so one of the things I noticed was I got to put my tab on. So grab out the tab that has like the little splotches on it. And that's gonna go right down there. And we can fold that in half and we're good to go. I want you to back up to this page right here because we didn't put our tab on this one. And that is going to be the one with the graph signs on it. So this here. And that's up pretty high. There we go, beautiful. There's our tab. All right, so let's go back to where we were, right here. So I think I have all the pieces for this, so I'm super excited about that. We're gonna get the word wander out. Let's put adhesive on that. We're just gonna make sure it's all the way on there. Lovely. And then I've got 2 flowers that I'm going to use, so I have to cut the tops off of these, or the backs, I should say. Cut the backs off, get them on there. I've got a couple of the green sprigs that I'm gonna use. You don't have to, or actually it's just one, so I'm just gonna use this one, I think, just like that, underneath. And chipboard wise, I'm just gonna grab out all my pieces. I wanna grab this little camera here, and I wanna grab one of the flourishes too. Let me get those out. Oh, I just broke that off, but that's okay. That's why you should not push on these, you should cut away. I say these things to the ladies all the time, and then I go and do the opposite. What's new? All right, there we go, perfect. So I am gonna put a really big dollop of glue right here. I'm gonna get that fern stuck in it. If you have a glue dot, that works, you know, better. And then I'm gonna get my flower there. I'm gonna put one right here because this does need to set up. So just like that. Now, if you want, you can put something on there to hold them, but if you just give it, you know, this is all gonna dry clear too. So that's one of the nicest things, is that it'll all dry clear. But we are really moving around. That's gonna have to go next, after. I'm gonna let these set for a second and then work on some of the other pieces while I'm waiting for it to set up. Let's go ahead and grab our chipboard piece. We can pick that on, tucked, coming off this left side over here. And then my little end fell off, but I don't know where. I'm just having a good day today. So make sure you have that little end on also. Oh, there it is, I see it. I can tuck that back in there. You can't even tell that it fell off. So we've got our camera piece. Let's go ahead and glue that down too, because that's gonna go right here. And the last thing that we need is this little fern piece to go in there. But I did not bring my glue dots, and that's what I would recommend you use. I'm gonna use the Nuvo glue, but this is not how I did it in the original. It's actually much harder to kind of work with, you know, because it really has to set up. Once it sets up, you're golden. Don't be afraid to apply more adhesive to get these little centers in, because it'll all dry clear and it'll be just fine, all right? So that is it for now. Let's set that page aside to dry. I'm not even gonna do the back side right now because I wanna let it set up and dry. We're going to go on to our next piece, which is going to be the My Heart Belongs to Michigan. So let's turn this here. And My Heart Belongs to Michigan. Inside, we've got our picture on one side. On the other, we're going to have this little fern piece. Perfect. And then we're going to have this place, which is a little green one here. I'm going to take this out. You guys should be taking yours out too, just because it's easier to deal with. I'm going to put this place on. Just going to go about right here. And then I want the word perfect from our chipboard. So these little guys are just starting to all fall out on me. Which, perfect, where are you? There it is. All right. Let's use our liquid glue on the word perfect. There we go. And then we have the word amazing, and that'll get glued down flat right below. And then on the back side, we're going to do the Michigan, and we're going to do this circle right here. So I want you to pull that out. And we're going to glue that on the North House Creative Woods Company. And we're gonna look for two things. I'm just dropping everything. One that says look around and then wandering. They have like the little nail heads in them right there. That's what you need. I'm gonna pick these up before I need them. Oh my God, I'm gonna take a picture of my workspace here because you guys would just die to see what I'm working on. It is not fun. I got a little 4-foot folding table. I've got my light like rigged up because I forgot my extension pole that holds the camera. Like, I'm seriously gonna have to take some pictures of this so you can see how ridiculous it is. So let's go ahead and grab our Michigan chip that's in here. Remember, gentle, gentle. Perfect. Definitely going to use your Nuvo glue here. Let's put our mitten on first. then our UP. That is great. All good to go. We can set that back in the album. Flip the page. Oh man, where did these go? Never mind, I know. So we're going to be on to our dot page with our letters that are all lined up. There is a lot, so let's pull them out. Start finding, you know, your different ones. Love this. Adventure is the bottom one. So adventure, love this. Friends and searching. Look at you. Naturalist. Treasure. Awesome. Findings. Amazing. Details. Curious. Nature. And one of the paper ones that is capture. All right, that is all of them. So we can just start going to town, gluing these down. I'm gonna start at the bottom. So we've got adventure first. Loved this. And then friends. Searching. Look at you. Naturalist. Oops. Treasure. Findings. Amazing. Details. This is like a word salad. Curious. Nature. And treasure. Or not treasure, captured. Oh boy. All right, so from there we've got some hearts that we're gonna put on there. So we're gonna grab one of the blue hearts that has the words on it. And that's gonna go right here. And then we have one of the cream hearts with the words on it. And that's here. And then a green one. Just like this. We've got a beautiful green butterfly, or not green, yellow butterfly that we're gonna do. Moth actually is what he is. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry guys. I am just, my favorite album, making a terrible video. Okay, here we go. So if you want, you could put like a pop dot on the wings if you want to hold them down. And I think I will on this left side. just like that. Now I need to move it a little so the word details isn't too askewed. There we go. All right, we've got all of our words there. And we can turn the page on this one and do the back side since we don't have to worry about anything drying like those fabric flowers. And over here we have our little note cards that we need. So we need those. We need the colored tabs, the green, not tabs, I'm sorry, the colored things here, these, whatever these are. I don't even know where they come up with these things. Tickets, like what is it? Stage, boarded, I don't know. That, we're gonna need those. So let's put this stuff on first. And we can't forget our file thing either. So we're gonna do this left-hand side over here. With these. That's good. Let's put some adhesive on these guys and get them glued down. Those go like that. And then we're gonna do Be Kind to Everything That Lives, which is one of those wood slices. Put some pop dots on that. And that's gonna go right here. Be kind to everything that lives. We should have our Happy Little Moments chipboard. So we have this here and then the camera. So let's pull those out. And I'm gonna get my camera on. Just like that. I'm gonna get the Happy Little Moments on. And that one's gonna go right there for us. And then we should have a little piece of our jute. So I'm gonna cut another little chunk. And I'm just gonna kinda funky up the edges a little by pulling off the strands and making a bit of a mess. And then a nice little dollop of adhesive. And we're gonna tuck this in here, just like we did before with the scissors. Just like that. I love when it just slides in there. Perfect. Okay, now from here, we have a really nice size green brand or whatever, and a cute little mushroom, which I'm not sure I have. I don't have the right size mushroom, so let me show you. All right, so we've got our little jute tucked in. We're gonna put in a nice size fern and then have the mushroom sticking out with the pop dot. Once you get those pieces on and glued on, and I definitely have a glue dot right here, and I've got one down here. I would definitely recommend that. Then you're gonna put a nice another dollop of glue once you have your mushroom on and this is attached, and you'll stuff in your moss right there, okay? One of the things we haven't done is the tab. So let's grab the tab on this page before I forget. And it's the tab with the little lines on it. And I'm gonna put my tab on. Perfect. All right, so for you, you keep finishing. You do your little bit of the green fern, tuck in your mushroom, There's 2 different size mushrooms, so make sure you're using the right one. I've got one of the small ones here, but this one goes on the front cover, okay, I believe. So you want the bigger of those red mushrooms on this page, and then once you do that, tuck in a little bit of moss. So we've got our next page here that has one of those cute little frames. It's the blue one. So I'm just gonna pull that out, put a little bit of adhesive down at the bottom, and then stick this on. Once you've got that on, we can turn the page, and then we've got our native. Now this again, make sure you sand it if it needs it. Mine has already been done. It's nice and smooth, nice and flat, no raised areas from the grain. And then we can work on our our graph page here. So with the graph page, let's get that tab on because I like to forget about them. So we're gonna grab the tabs with the little graphs. We're gonna put that on right at the bottom. We've got our fern, our little fern card here. That's gonna go on next. Really cute blue frame. We're gonna pop dot. So let's get some pop dots on this frame. And I probably will need to cut my pop dots down in half because they're a little too big as a whole. Okay, perfect. Once we got those on, let's take off the other side so we can glue it down. Okay, put the frame on. It's going to be kind of kitty corner on that left side. And then we're going to do a couple other pieces here. We have the word out exploring, which is this. And that's going to be flat. And then check it out with the little nail heads on the sides. The word love. So here's the love, that's gonna go on there. And then I wanna take a peek at some of the other, well, let's get a few more pieces on and then I'll talk about what I don't have, I guess. So we're gonna grab out one of those flourishes from the chipboard piece. So let's do that. Oh, I just broke another one. These things are pretty delicate. I should have made it slightly thicker, but it's no big deal. I just go back on. All right, let's go ahead and put this piece on with the Nuvo glue. And it's gonna come right off of here just like that. Let me attach the piece I broke off. Lovely, okay. And then you have these set of little leaves that are kind of a greenish blue. These guys here, we're gonna put those on. So we're gonna pop dot this one right here, and then we'll put adhesive on the other two. And that's how that fits in there. But before we do that, don't press too hard. We wanna get another little piece of jute and kind of stuff it in there. So get another little wacky piece that's kind of, you know, all over the place. Pull this up for a second. Let me put some adhesive there. And I'm not gonna I'm just gonna leave it flat because this has a pop dot on it and it'll help hold it in there. And then I'm gonna get rid of these strays. Gonna give it a haircut so I get the look I'm going for. Like that, that's perfect. Now I've got some moss that needs to go in here, but I can't finish mine off because I'm missing my 2 mushrooms. So these beautiful mushrooms need to go on, and then the top of them is pop dotted and they're tucked into the frame. Once you have that on, then you're going to do the moss here and there, and then we're going to do this little knot. But let's do the knot together because I can put my knot on just to show you again, because I've done this already. Grab some of the pieces, at least 3 or 4, whatever floats your boat. Get them together, wrap it around your finger, and then loop the other side through, but don't pull it all the way through. So I've got that other side and I'm just pulling it slightly. And that's it. Just tighten it up a little bit. If you've got a little stray, that's okay. And then that goes pretty much right there. And then these little guys will also need a haircut. So let's just go back over top of this, what you need to still do that I can't do with you. 2 mushrooms, and then 2 little dollops of moss right there. All right, so I'm gonna turn my page. I'm actually gonna put this little guy here and give these a haircut since I have them all done and ready. Just like that. And I shall turn the page and work on this side. Now this side has quite a bit of pieces. We've got our word, we've got a yellow tag here that we need to start with. And then the word natural. So let's get those 2 pieces on. Yellow tag. The word natural. Okay. We've got 2 really pretty tags. I'm hoping I have both. Oh, God. Oh, wait. Maybe I do. Yes. Close enough, I guess. It's not the exact tab I used. Well, I better not. I don't want to do that without having the right thing. All right, so let me show you mine, because there's so many pieces to this. So right now, what you should do is you should do these 2 tags. I'm missing this tag, and you want that tag here. Now, once you put these 2 tags on, I would go ahead and put on your fall colors and then your Wonder More and Explore More. From there, I would put on the Spyglass. The Spyglass here has a flower in it. And I took that flower from this right here. So I glued the Spyglass on top of this and then trimmed around it. So you're gonna need to do that. I don't have a Spyglass in my set to show you, but all you're gonna do is take this, glue it on here, and then trim off the excess, okay? Once you have that done, put your Wander More and your Explore, and then you've got your other green leaf tucked in with some moss. we're gonna have a flower up top by Natural. And honestly, I think I should move it over a little so I can see that word L better. So I want you guys to do that. I want you to move this over a little bit so you can see that L. And then you'll put in a little bit of chipboard here, put in your little knot. Put your moss in first, then the knot, okay? So just a few more things to do. I'm just gonna leave it up there for a second, kind of walk you through it one more time. 2 tags, your spyglass with that flower put inside of it, your 2 words. We're gonna do the fall colors. The leaves are pop dotted at the top here, and that's it, not the bottom ones and not these tags. And then once you get that moss in there, we can go over here, put your flower on, put your chipboard, tuck in the moss, and then tie yourself up another little loopy loop there for your jute. All right, this side we're gonna be done with. We don't have anything that we need to do here, so we're just gonna turn that page, work on the dotted page right here that we have. And with that, we need our big butterflies. And I want to grab the tab before I forget, because I like to do that. So let's grab that tab first with the splotches on it. I put mine at the top. We can go ahead and glue this on. And that's gonna go right here, real close to the edge, higher. See about 2 dots, 1 dot on the left. There we go. And on this little cutie, we're gonna do the word together. So it's a big word. This one here, together, it's pop dotted. All right, so we've got the word together that's going to go on right at the bottom there. And then we have that real pretty explore, which is a paper word that I do not have. Oh, yay, yay. All right, get the green explore out. Ooh, I've never been so frustrated trying to do something. All right, put that explore on, and then let's do a couple other things before we talk about what I don't have. We're gonna get the Life is Great, which is this one right here. So I've got the Life is Great chipboard. Oh, I was gonna try to, these are just too small, too delicate to try to do that pink adhesive. You know, I love to use that pink adhesive for everything, but not these. So the Life is Great is gonna go at the bottom, kind of right side, underneath that together. And then we have the cutest little totem pole, tadpole, totem pole, I can't remember what they call these, something, toadstool. There we go, toadstool mushrooms. Let's get another piece of jute that we're gonna kind of cut apart and, you know, make fussy, pull out some pieces. We're gonna do a dollop right here, up atop above the O and the G, and then I'm gonna tuck that in. There we go. I want pop dots on the top of my mushrooms only. I'm gonna glue down the bottom. And I'm gonna stick them right there. And now I'm gonna go crazy with some moss. So I'm gonna put some nice dollops of glue grab out my little bag of moss, and I'm gonna tuck them in there. Perfect. And then if my moss is a little fluffy, I might just put some there, just so it holds it in. Love it, love it, love it. Now, the last thing that's missing is the word explore. This is a paper word that I do not have. So you find yours, you should have it. You should not have these problems that I'm having whatsoever. Once you have your explore on, we can turn it over to the other side and work on that. So on this one, we have our blue frame. We've got the yellow and like this army green color here. That I need to try to get my hands on. So we have this, this, and that. Now this is got a 3x4 card in it. So I think I told you I'm one short on those. So I need to cut another one. So I'm not sure why I didn't have enough, but obviously my math skills aren't working today either. So I'm going to do another 3x4. Let me ink it. All right, I'm gonna put this on first. Or no, I'm not. I'm gonna put these on. So I put some adhesive on this. And sometimes I'll do that where then I tuck the stuff behind it like that, because that's how it should look. And now I'll add adhesive to the rest of it. It's gonna be right about there. And then, because I have to put that picture on still, I'm only going to put adhesive down at the bottom of my blue frame. So that I can pull it back or pull it off in order to get this on there. So it should look about like that, okay? We have the word let's explore, so let's pop dot that. The let's explore is going to go down at the bottom right, about 2 dots that you can see. And then from there, I have to stop because you should have two of these ferns. And I want you to use these ferns here. And then you're going to take one of those chipboard flourishes and put it on top and then glue the word winter. And then after you have that, you're done with this one and you can put it into the book. All right, we can flip that page over and we are on to just a few more things that we need. Love this most is one of the pieces that we need here, okay? So we're gonna pop dot the love this most. And that's gonna go on right at the bottom of this card right there. And then we've got I will remember. The I will remember is one of these paper pieces and that's going to go flat. Just like that. And then we use 2 of these guys on this page. And these are going to get tucked in here, but we don't want this big spot. So we're gonna cut all that off and then pull off like the first 3 little things, so we only have that to kind of tuck in and to lay flat. I'm sorry, we're gonna cut this a little bit. And then that will tuck in there. And we'll do the same thing. Just pull a few of them off, maybe one. And I did actually only a portion of this. So we cut a little bit off, pull a few of these, and then that gets tucked in there also. Since I do not have my glue dots, I don't want to glue this down, okay? So I'm just going to show you the finished one. Let me pull that over here because it's in the back of the book. So on the absolute finished one, you want to get these down, get the glue dots on. Actually, there's a glue dot right there that was attached to this. Perfect. And I didn't do the top of this one, but I did do this whole thing. And I wanted to make sure I could slide a picture underneath all of this. So put a dollop of glue underneath there. Make sure it's not too much because you have pop dots here. You're not going to tuck too much. And then glue that down and make sure these are in place with glue dots. Okay. All right, it's time to go back to that one page where we were letting the flowers dry. So this one right here with the really cool little mushrooms and things like that on it. We're going to turn that over. And I've got most of the pieces here. So we're going to start with this little yellow card tag. We're going to put that on first. Just make sure it's straight. Okay. We've got our summer fun. Perfect. That's going to go on top here. Our camera. We've got the word friends. And then I have the word curious, which is not one that I have, and then camera. So the word camera we can get out of our chipboard piece. So let's grab that out of there. So I'm going to put the word camera on. Put that right about here. All right, could go a little bit more over, but the word curious is going to be in between here. Let me just show you. So we have the word friends, curious, and then camera. And then we're going to put one of those blue mushrooms that I don't have and a little bit of moss there. I do have the stuff to do the top up here, so that's what I'm going to take care of for you guys that you can see. So I'm going to grab my mushrooms and I'm going to pop dot the top of this. And then do the bottom part of it flat with adhesive. I'm going to glue that on right about there. And then take one of my little loop-de-loops, and I'll show you one more time kind of how to do that. So grab some of your strings. Let's do at least 2 for this one. And then you're going to use your fingers to make a loop. Pull through the 2 pieces, but not all the way through, because what you're doing is making a loop there. And that's it. All right, so we're going to use that. But let's get our moss and let's get that other little flourish on, that other little chipboard flourish. You need to pop that out. So here is this guy, just like that. And now I'm going to take some moss. My favorite part of this whole book is this darn moss. You don't need very much, but you can put as little or as much as you want. It's up to you. I'm gonna hold it down for a second. I'm gonna grab that little twine. I'm gonna put it right here with a nice little dollop of adhesive. Hold that down. These little guys can get a trim if you want. Mine are pretty short on this one, so I'll probably trim them because I do like how this looks. Oop, I just pulled it off. That's okay. I think I might take off a little bit of that moss. There we go. A little less. Okay, and then we got all our pieces. So now all you got to do is the word curious on here, the blue mushroom popped at the top, and then put a little bit of that moss at the bottom. And that's actually it for the inside of our album now that we have that. Now it's time to do our front cover. Let's put together that front cover, and then we should be pretty good to go with doing gems and glitter glue. So in the spine right here, I always like to put something. I know it's hard to see just because I'm so close to the camera. And I put that little blue thing in there, but you have to trim off some of it because it doesn't fit. So let's do that. Let's grab our trimmer. We're just gonna take off a smidge on each side, and actually probably that is enough. Let me just check. Just check. I didn't do a measurement. Yeah, that's perfect. So just like that, and then I'm gonna ink the top of this, and I'm gonna slide it in there. It's a little too long. I don't like how long it is, so I'm gonna trim off this bottom section. There we go, that's perfect. I like a little tab to pull it out, but not a ton. Okay, great. I hate when those are left empty. Now you could put the year on there, you could put with Michigan, you could use one of the words that are left over that are small enough. You could do whatever you want on that front cover. So we're gonna start with our white piece. That needs to go on first, but I did ink it, so this is the only piece I did ink. I didn't ink the ones that were in the book. I could have, but I didn't do it. Doesn't mean you can't. You can do whatever you want to do. You know, I'm just giving you guidelines, but you can do you, make it look however you want. All right, lots of adhesive on the edges here. Make sure it's glued down really, really well. Since this is the front cover, it is gonna take the brunt of, you know, a lot of abuse. And then it's really tight next to those metal little corners there, which I love when they add those metal corners. So that's our first piece. Then we're gonna grab this one. And we're gonna, again, apply adhesive generously to this. And that's gonna go on next. Right like that. Press it down nice and tight. Next thing I want to put on is our Michigan wood piece. So I'm going to do that with the Nuvo glue. You can do these if you want to, or just do them in a few spots. That's all I did, was do it in a few spots. All right, here we go. We're gonna set that on, press it down. You should have a really cute little blue heart that I had out and now is missing, that goes on top of here. Well, seriously, I am just having a day like I have never had before. Okay. We have the word memories right here. So let's go ahead and pull that out. And we're going to put Pop Dots closer to the bottom of it. So So not at the top, but at the bottom, because we're tucking a lot of stuff in. Oh, I found my blue heart. All right, so we've got the word memories, and that's gonna go right about here, nice and straight. The blue heart has been located. So let's go ahead and get some adhesive on that and put it where it belongs, which is right over top of the heart that is there. If you like the little opening, leave it, but I thought that little dimension with the other heart was super cute, so I decided to do that. Now, again, I am one of those ladies who has come unprepared and I don't have my pop dots with me. So the next thing you would do is tuck in this little guy and put a pop dot here and then put one down at the bottom. And then we've got our flower. Now the flower is too bushy like this, so we need to take off some of the ones that are kind of, you know, making it stick out. And I don't like this little bulbous thing. Oh, but I don't have anything to cut it. I like our scissors, but they're not strong enough for this. So I'm just gonna stick mine on there kind of like that, all right? Because what I did was I took some of these extra flowers and I cut them just like we did before, and I put them where I wanted them so I don't see like this edging and stuff like that. So we're gonna put this on. We're gonna cut this down. Oh, I really wish I could cut this because I'm not happy with the size of it. But I just don't think it's gonna happen, ladies. It's not gonna happen. So get your wire cutters out or your button shanks and go ahead and cut this flower down and then tuck it underneath here. And I'm gonna show you. We're gonna walk through this now on the cover that's finished because I don't have much of a choice with anything else. So with this, you wanna get this one down, okay? And let it be pretty flat and nice and tucked in. And then you can see where my stem is kind of coming out from here, and then it goes out. It's really small. It's only about 4 inches, if that. So that's what you want to do. So if I was looking at this, I would cut it way back to here. And then what we do is we just glue on these random ones. This was not there. It's the only ones that are attached are these 3. All the rest are random ones that I glued on, okay, to put them where I wanted them. So before you start gluing on the random ones, I want this down first. Get that little puff here down, and then let's kind of tuck in some of the other pieces. So it would be probably a really good idea at this point to get your little mushrooms on. And these are pop dotted on top of that wood. Okay, so tuck those in. And then you can see where I have tucked in the leafy fern here and then one there. So go ahead and get those on with pop dots, okay? Once you have that on, you're going to do your little stone. Now the stone, everybody's gonna have a different shape and size. In this album, these are the stones that I have. So I can do either side of it, but it's gonna be that one there. And all I did was use the Nuvo glue. Nice dollop of glue, put it on there and let it set up. So once I have that done, I'm gonna tuck in a little bit of that jute right in here. And then I start tucking in moss. I've got the little string thing. I've got moss here. I've got moss there, moss there. And then once that's done, you start putting the flowers where you want them. That's when you start taking these little separate ones and you go, okay, I want a little flower here to mix up or to cover up this hole. You can cut the little end off like I showed you. And, you know, put a little flower here to cover up that stem. And so on and so forth. That's what I did with mine. None of these are actually attached. They're glued down, all right? And that is the best that I can do for the cover at the moment. I'm sure, like, you guys are scrapbookers. You've got this. I'm not worried about you at all. I'm a little disappointed in myself at this moment, but I know you guys can do it. So, fern, flower, little ferns, mushrooms, and then we're going to put the stone on, tuck in your jute, and then start tucking in the moss. And then after that's all done, see where you want your little individual ones to cover up your holes or to cover up your stem. And that's when you'll start gluing those on and let them set up with the Nuvo glue, okay? And if you have it like this, like sometimes, oh, where did it go? Here it is. One of the things I did on these too was, you know, I put the flower down and then put another little dollop of glue on top and just stuck that down. So it had something to adhere to. So that's a doable thing too. It doesn't have to stick through that hole. It just has to be in there to cover that up. All right, so now that we have that done, let's do a walkthrough on this book about glitter glue and the gems, because I'm totally not going to be doing those with you either because my book is not finished. So we have the glitter glue on certain parts. We did it on the flowers here. I did it on the ferns and the butterfly and the hearts and the tops of the mushrooms, okay? So if you're not familiar with using glitter glue, it's going to be kind of like in dots. That's how I apply my glitter glue. It's the best way to do it. And then for the gems here, definitely get out your pink tray, get out your little adhesive thing, and put them on. And I'll do a couple of those. All right, so I've got my glitter glue out. I've got the little gems out that are here. And I've got my tool with my Nuvo glue. So if you're looking at this, if you're doing the glitter glue, you are gonna apply it in more of a dot. You know, just like that, where you're dotting it along. You're not rubbing, you're dotting. All right, so that's how the glitter glue. And then I did it on the edge of the flowers too, just, you know, kind of rub those off like this, let that set up. And then for adding the gems, wherever you want the gems, you're just gonna add a little puddle of glue. And I like to do quite a few at a time. Pick up the gem with your gem tool. Oops, let's put that one back. And then you just set them on there and you let them dry, and that's it. Okay, super simple. It's a great tool. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. All right, after that, let's go inside to the book and talk about what else we have in here. Okay, so we've got our cute little tags and all that kind of stuff that are tucked in and behind. That's nice. So I've got glitter on the ferns right here. Let me see. Glitter on, get it as big as I can. I've got glitter on the edges of the ferns. And then you're gonna do your little bit of gems right here. I did glitter on the butterflies, the tips, the bottoms and the tops, the dragonfly wings and the butterfly here. And then you've got your gems that are outlining your little spyglass. Gonna do glitter on the hearts, and then we've got our gems kind of falling down. On this one, you're gonna do it on the mushroom, on the stem, and then the top portion of it. Here we've got them on the top of the mushroom and then going down a little bit, and then the gems kind of working their way through the moss and our jute. On this side, we've got the little bit here. I didn't put it on this flower, and I would have. Like, I like to be consistent. So I want to see you guys put glitter glue on the edge of that flower, and I'll do mine later. And then we've got them on the butterfly wings, and then we've got the gems kind of tucked in within that space. All right, here on this piece of paper, we did all the little tops of the mushrooms that I could see and find. I did do my little flowers here, and then you've got your gems kind of rounding out around that wood piece. We got it on top of the mushroom tops, both sides, gems anchoring the mushrooms. Inside, I did the amazing. No glitter glue, no gems there. Here we've got our butterflies, we've got the hearts that we did, and then a little waterfall effect with the gems. On the back side, we're going to be doing the mushroom. I did the underneath, the little bit of the stem and the top, and then lining the mushroom and around the wood for the gems. Here I've got these little lollipop ones, doing the edges and then a little bit of the stem, framing it in like a little L right there. I did the flower. I did the word natural with the gems and then a little bit of the mushrooms and the flower here. On this one, we've got the mushroom tops, the word explore for the glitter glue, and then a nice little twinkle or sprinkle of the gems along the word together. Did the edges of the ferns and then tucked in the gems with the flourishes. Here I did glitter glue on this card. I did a little bit of the water, a little bit of the UP and the top of the Michigan, the pines, the little cherries, the water here, and the sand dunes. And that's it. Inside, I don't have anything. No glitter and no gems. All right, guys, that is the Michigan album. I'm sorry about some of the snafus, but I have all the confidence in you that you guys can follow along without me doing it personally. If you have any questions or if you need any help, you can definitely email, call the store, any of that. Put it in the video here, and I will help you and walk you through it. I hope you enjoy. I hope you put beautiful pictures in your album. If you ever do, I would love to see it. I hardly ever get to see people's finish with photos, and I always enjoy it when I do.